Oh, here we go. The Pope not debating the Don. Oh, by the way, this is the Sunday news of the day by the New York Post and my interpretation of it all the way. Now, considering my great the Donnie's way of negotiation, which is basically you agree or you get blown up. No, this is the only man in the world who could deal with the Iranians, since they want an atomic bomb, so they can all go to Allah more quickly by making themselves martyrs by billions or millions. Or maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit here, but the Israelis have a lot of atomic bombs. The Iranians only need a few, because Israel is about the size of a postage stamp. And you could theoretically kill 10 million Jews in one shot. Boom, 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 boom. And then the Israelis will let go their bombs, and there'll be what you call your big explosions in Iran. And that's another, I don't know how many millions of dead there. And then you got your worldwide anti-Semitic pogrom, in which Jews would be threatened all throughout the world because they would be considered mass murderers. What does Don do? Did Donnie say no more? We can't have this suicidal. And Donnie loves religion, and I love religion. I believe in religion, but I don't think a death cult should have atomic bombs. That's all I'm saying. And the Pope is wrong. He said, well, nobody who prays for war should get the ear of God. This is a myth. He has plenty of ears for people who crave for war, as long as it goes to a better result, less bloodshed, less misery, because God believes in freedom and peace, in which you live under a totalitarian dictatorship. Nah, nah, that's no good. I tell a buried, what's this here? I told a burial pot or parade is the low key in it, because they know as soon as the supporters who go, yeah, 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 death to America, and all for the Ayatollahs, we're going to bomb them a little bit. We get them all together to be supportive, boom, boom, boom. That's it, one of our negotiation process. I know what you're saying. What kind of stuff is that to negotiate that way? It's called unconditional surrender. What we did during the Second World War. All this stuff about, bombing the infrastructure of the country. That's what we did during the Second World War. That's how we won the war. We were bombing cities, and and civilians died. Let me tell you something. Now this thing is, well, you don't do that, so you keep the game going. Look, once the Iranians had physical attacks by their proxies on Israel and other places and us, all bets were off. We've been in war for them for 50 years. They've been in war with us definitely for 50 years, ever since they got the first hostages. We should have dealt with them back then, but we didn't, because Jimmy the Weak Man Carter, he was the worst president ever. Very nice man. He built the towns. He went into housing and he did nice things. He was a nice man, but you can't have a nice man as president of the United States. Except for Donnie. Donnie's a nice man. Underneath it all, he's a nice man. He's got a bit of a mouth on him, but who doesn't? A win-win for Trump. This whole thing is going to be a win-win for Trump, because this is going to be the shortest war, and we're going to get rid of four of our enemies. You say, well, how's this going to work out? Because they're all linked up together. You knock out. We become the leaders of, exhibitionist of gas, right? And that makes China dependent on us, not dependent on the Middle East and Iran. They dependent on us. Like we're dependent on a lot of them, for them, that they can play games with us. We can play games with them. And the economy in China will come to a screeching halt. And once the economy comes to a screeching halt in China, that's going to affect the Ruskies. The Ruskies want to take over Europe. They ain't doing that good a job. Their army's not doing that well. I thought they would, I was wrong. I thought they would be in Kiev by 4 years ago, and within a week. But they weren't because the Ukrainians, there's some tough people, there's some brave. Let me tell you something. Their government may be a little corrupt, as all governments are, but those people, it gives me shivers up my spine to think of how great they are. So smart, so brilliant. Yeah. Post, no, what's this? What's this other guy here? Past roads, that? Past, oh yes, Katie, I want to use language, but the woman's a questionable person. She assaulted people. Oh, no, she didn't assault people. She got feels, and she had her publicists and friends, and she got a little frisky with them. And exercising their powers. And the feminists, they actually just want men to be, uh, penalized because a lot of the laws against, sexual harassment and the semi-rape laws are made by feminists who are radical lesbians who don't like men and women having any kind of relationships if they can help it. They hate men. I tell you. But maybe they're doing us a favor because, the prong faces, with the prongs, they say, well, we don't want no men no more. Imagine getting into the bed with something like that with a prong on its face. And I said, you're a beautiful girl. Why so much hate? Why the pig thing in your nose? I don't understand. You're perfectly, and you're insane, and you want to kill the Republicans. You want to torture them, and because they don't vote the way you do. That's because you're a loser. No matter how more beautiful you are, we know you're a loser, and you're telling us with your purple hair and your off-color purples, your murderous intentions. You're giving yourself away, which is good. I have to give you credit because you could see the bastards from a mile away. Insane. And then they proselytize, they advertise that they're insane. And violent. I don't know what to do. Because the Republicans are by nature law-abiding citizens. They don't take the law into their own hands. They don't try to kill people. They got domestic situations going there, and they're usually, it's domestic. They're not going after somebody because they got a Tesla. Talk about Democrats. What is the whole, they were persecuting the Supreme Court judge because he said something in his yearbook that somebody might interpret as something do hoopy doop with young girls. And then this false accusation came out. He didn't do nothing. She couldn't remember the day, she couldn't remember when. And then you got your Harris attacking the guy, the Supreme Court, and these other people, these jerks, slime. And they were all doing the hoopy doop with their interns. But that's okay when they do it. In fact, what was his name? The man with the farter with the and then he had a Chinese spy, and he's still on the top committees. And then on top of it, he's accusing Mr. Trump, who's innocent of all charges, of being a rapist. Trump never had to rape anybody in his life. The women throw themselves at him, and he threw them back. And when he grabbed them, he threw them back. They claimed something else. And not that he didn't cheat on his wife, but that's his prerogative. He's a rich man. And I don't understand how he wants to get a little risque because he's with one of the most, Biana is one of the most beautiful women in the whole world. Most beautiful woman who's ever been in the White House. Bottom none. There's certain people who are the strongest of like Michelle Obama. She's probably the strongest White House lady and the angriest for no good reason. She's angry, strong, stronger than Barack. Oh, she could take him in a fight. Oh, no doubt about it. Now, some people have this, that she's now really, she's either on roids or she's, She's transgendy. I don't think so. I just think she's just a natural athlete. Yeah, let's see. But it's everything's gonna be okay. Then we're gonna get rid of these bastards once and for all. VIP seeks Pope's peace. The VIP, who's a good Catholic, converted to it from Protestant. The VIP is in a fight with the demon Democratic Pope. Let me tell you something, Mr. Pope. And then the Pope says, I don't want to get involved in politics. But you got involved in politics, Mr. Friend. You know, test, deal with the pedophiles in your own backyard and your corruption in the Catholic Church. I'm not a practicing Catholic anymore because I can't be. I can't be. It's too corrupt. It's too liberal. They're letting all these people from another land, and I'm saying Middle Eastern land, the third world, into the country. What are they trying to do? Destroy the country from England? This country had a nice situation here. Doesn't need. It needs to keep a little oatmeal, and then you put the spices in. But you don't put too many spices in because if you do too many spices in, the whole world goes wrong. It stinks, like New Jersey. There's a stink in New Jersey. It smells like dead fish. I thought it was the landfills. I thought it was the dead bodies, the mafia bill in the landfills. Apparently, there are trees that smell like stink, like the dead leaves. Not dead fruit. It wasn't dead. Huh. I don't understand. People do things. I understand the cops being a little risque. They're being attacked. They're being hit by snowballs with rocks in them. The people are not respecting them. They're not allowed to do a little police brutality. Cops' whole new law. What they were doing, these policemen, it was Animal House. They would look. They make holes in the wall, and then they would look at the female cops changing. This is a big thrill for the cops. There's people they work with, they're getting the tension off. People don't approve of that. They don't approve. And it's a nice thing. Well, in the police, they had the fire department. They let these models in there, and the models are traipsing around half naked. And it's a very thrilling thing for the firemen. And you'd say, why don't let the firemen do this? Yeah, the bravest. I love cops, but the firemen are the bravest. You need a bunch of crazy Irishmen doing this job, going into a house on fire. It's crazy. The woke students, they have done, you know what they did? They got naked. And now they were actually good looking ones. They got naked, going out there and saying, look, we don't want NYU to be invested in these sweatshops. So we're going to take off our clothes to make sure we're not endorsing this indirectly. I understand, and everybody was in good shape. I believe if you're going to get naked, you should be in good shape. If not, you're aesthetically assaulting my interest. And say, well, Vinny, look at you. You're not aesthetically the most pleasing person of all if you were running around naked. Well, they don't run around naked. They had a cultural problem that the autistic girl who goes around Gaza, what's her name, Tronberg or whatever the hell, from Sweden. Oh, how dare you? How dare you? Now that she's of age, but she doesn't look like she's age. She looks like she's still 12 years old, an autistic 12-year-old girl. She's trying to get rid of the genocide going on in Gaza. So she goes there to go by boat. And this guy, this Brazilian, he's doing the hoopy doop with at least three people on the boat. The hoopy doop. And you realize it's a Caribbean excursion for this guy. Not that I'm against him. Well, I'm against him trying to stop the genocide in Gaza, since there is no genocide going on in Gaza. It's the most ridiculous concept I have heard. There's a war going on in Gaza. And Hamas, one of the most evil systems of political persuasion ever in history. They hide behind, they murder innocent people. They They kidnap people and hide behind the bodies, hide behind children and women and everything and under the sun. And then they say if you start to try to kill them, which you should, you're a genocide. And the Israelis have done they've gone the miles to try not to kill the innocent. But you can't help it if the guy's hiding behind the dead people, the live people, the live children. That's what's going to happen. But this broad, this Brazilian, he's doing well. He had a big smile on his face. This is a very what I call suspicious. They got the scientific and missing link to UFOs. Now this is suspicious. 10 scientists who keeping track of UFOs and our top scientific situation there have disappeared mysteriously or died mysteriously. Yeah, I'm worried. Maybe the aliens are among us. Hold on, that's not a dignified enough. This is the post. I think I did it. Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what's going on. Okay, let's see if this pass muster. Muster. The hills are alive with the sound of trumpet.